In our previous episode, our riders followed a trusted local guide into the quiet mountains of Santa Cruz. After winding roads, they found a secret waterfall. The riders did what any sensible humans would do. They splashed, they swam, they waddled around in the water. They found tiny creatures. They made strangers into friends. And for a while, deep in the forest, life simply stood still. And now, a brand new day begins. Our riders are back home in the highlands. Many moons have passed since their last great escape. Long enough for helmets to gather dust, and for motorcycles to feel slightly neglected. But today, something stirs. Engines awaken. Because for these riders, adventure is never truly finished. It simply waits, just beyond the next bend. This is the back door to the nearby city called Baguio. They chose this path to avoid traffic. For today, the mountains are unusually busy. Many travelers are climbing the winding roads to the city. They come for a festival celebrating the season of blooming. Usually, during this season, our riders stay home and avoid the crowd. But this year, they decided to join the festivities, to see for themselves the wonder it brings. The dense green of the trees begins to thin. Slowly, the city comes into view. Streets stretch ahead. The festival waits just around 100 more curves. The festival began in 1996 to help this city heal and bounce back after the devastating 1990 Luzon earthquake. So this year marks the 30th year of celebrating this flower festival. Celebrations run from early February to the first week of March. It is one of the biggest festivals in the Philippines. Hundreds of thousands of local and international tourists come for the flowers and indigenous traditions. Now, the riders cruise through the city center. The roads are busier than ever. They weave through the crowd, eager to see what the festival brings. Colors, music, and celebration spill into every corner. For these riders, the adventure has taken a new turn. This is the market encounter held at Rose Garden, a hub for local creativity, where local entrepreneurs, artisans, and small businesses showcase their products. There are also landscape exhibitions, dozens of garden masterpieces by local landscapers, bright carpets of flowers, open gardens. The park becomes a living gallery of blooms, a feast for the eyes. If you think the market ends here, think again. Because just nearby is Session Road in bloom. One of the most anticipated events of the festival. For 1 week each year, the city's main road closes to traffic. Cars disappear. More than 400 booths sell local food, crafts, plants, and handmade goods from across the region. And so, our riders cruise once more through the city centre, making their way toward the blooming street ahead. Visitors stroll freely along the avenue, shopping, eating, and enjoying the sights. For locals and tourists alike, a walk down Session Road during the Flower Festival is simply a tradition. But that is not the best part of the festival. Brace yourselves, because the best is yet to come. For many visitors, this is the moment they came for. And hundreds of thousands of spectators line the roads to watch the performance. On one special weekend of the festival, the city erupts into its biggest spectacle. The grand floral float parade. Massive floats roll through the streets of the city, each one carefully decorated with thousands of fresh flowers. Some floats carry celebrities, performers, and public figures waving to thousands of cheering fans. Dancers in colorful costumes fill the streets, their movements inspired by flowers and the traditions of the Cordillera highlands. And for one unforgettable day, the entire city blooms.
Filipino community.
Okay, so
Filipino community.
Okay, so
there you have it. How about a big hand, ladies and gentlemen?